Welcome, all you lovely, beautiful beings here in the sanctuary and who are joining us at home. Thank you for sharing your meditation practice. So, for the next 20 minutes, I invite you first to settle into your chair, to ground your feet. Invite you to have your spine erect but relaxed, and to find your breath, if you will. The only thing we need to do right now is to breathe in and out into that still, deeply grounded presence that we are. Thank you so much for sharing the gift of your meditation practice with this community and with the world.
Bésame mucho, como si fuera esta la noche la última vez. Bésame, bésame mucho, que tengo miedo perderte, perderte después. Quiero tenerte muy cerca, amarrarme a tus ojos, veré junto a mí. Piensa que tal vez mañana yo estaré lejos, muy lejos de ti. Bésame, bésame mucho, como si fuera esta la noche la última vez. Bésame, bésame mucho, que tengo miedo perderte, perderte después. Que tengo miedo perderte, perderte después. Bésame mucho.
Good morning, Unity and Marin. I know, but I'm going to keep talking till you can. Thank you to Momo Cortez for that little solo, that little wonderful solo. Bésame mucho. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, Melissa. Michelle. Good morning, Unity and Marin. My name is Carolyn Gauthier. I'm on the staff here at Unity and Marin, and want to welcome you all here today on behalf of Reverend Deanne Weir-Morency, who is taking a much-deserved Sunday off. And we are fortunate to have a guest speaker, Dr. Ali Mattu, who I will introduce a little bit more later. We are an inclusive, loving community who support each other in being fully human and fully spiritual. Fully spirit. Fully human and fully spirit. Because just like the oyster that takes a single irritating grain of sand and turns it into a beautiful pearl, we are always growing and learning from each other. So whether you're online or whether you're here in person, know that this is a place that is safe for you to be and grow and serve. So as we breathe together, we're going to start this song We'll start this service with a song. We're going to have Jeannie and Momo come up and sing Breathing.
Breathing in, breathing out. Let the breath of life flow through me. Love is here, love is now. I am breathing love. Breathing in, breathing out. Let the breath of life flow through me. Joy is here, joy is now. I am breathing joy. Breathing in, breathing out. Let the breath of life flow through me. Peace is here, peace is now. I am breathing peace. And now we breathe in and out. The inhale, the exhale, the pause. Breathing in, breathing out. Let the breath of life flow through me. Peace is here, peace is now. I am breathing peace. Peace is here, peace is now. I am breathing peace.
Now Barbara Cedarblade will come up to lead us in prayer.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome, everyone online. Let's just take a moment here, and before we do that, I'm going to have Kathleen O'D bring up the prayer box. Bring up the prayer box and remind everyone, as I remind myself to hold this close, you can always put a prayer in the prayer box when you come in the narthex, and it will be prayed over for 30 days here, and then it will go to Silent Unity. So in this moment, let's all go within for a minute. And I'd like to invite all the prayer chaplains to rise and encircle the room, and anyone who is aligned with the vision and purpose of unity, please join us in encircling the room in love and light. And as we continue breathing along with that beautiful song that Carolyn wrote, we release our cares and concerns getting here, or whatever is on your heart. Sink into it and release fear and doubt and darkness to make space to choose the light and to spread the light. And we are so grateful for growing individually in the light and collectively as a community, and we extend our light out to all troubled places on the globe, and there are many. We breathe into our power of faith and trust and knowingness that we will be guided when we listen deeply within for what is ours to do. Small things, greater involvements, whatever it is, we ask for inspiration and guidance for what is ours to do each day and going forward. We bless all our ancestors who have passed. We bless each other, our community, the world, as we release this prayer with faith that somehow everything is working together for good. And so it does, and so it is. Amen. Invite Clay David up for the inspirational reading.
Good morning, Unity. It is now time for our inspirational reading, a time to let these words become part of your morning reflection, your morning meditation, or prayer. I invite you in this moment to take a deep breath and to pause, to close your eyes if you wish. I invite you to let these words become your words. The affirmation for today is, as I open to the full spectrum of my emotions, my capacity for love and compassion expands. In the depths of our being lies a wellspring of courage waiting to be tapped. It is the courage to feel, to fully embrace the range of emotions that life presents us. And our journey of healing, it takes great strength to confront our pain, acknowledge our wounds, and allow ourselves to be vulnerable. Courage is not the absence of fear, but rather the willingness to face it head on. It is the audacity to dive into the depths of our emotions, knowing that on the other side lies healing and growth. It is through feeling our pain that we can release it and make space for love, joy, and peace to enter our lives. As we open ourselves to the full spectrum of emotions, we discover that our capacity for love and compassion expands. We become more connected to ourselves and to others, creating a ripple effect of healing and transformation. Once again, the affirmation for today is, as I open to the full spectrum of my emotions, my capacity for love and compassion expands. Please know this with me. As I open to the full spectrum of my emotions, my capacity for love and compassion expands. Thank you.
Thank you, Clay. A beautiful reading, and I really appreciate the way you bring your heart and soul into it. So thank you very much. Good morning, Unity and Marin. How are you all today? Can you believe how fast this year is going? I love saying that early in the year to get ahead of all those other people, those latecomers who say that in July and August. No, it's happening as we speak. Let's see. Are you feeling welcome today? Are you feeling welcoming today? Yes, we are all part of the welcome team. Please join us in the courtyard after services. You can have some time with Ali here, who I've had a little bit of time this morning, lovely individual. And if you're a first-time guest, any first-time guests in the room today? Online, maybe? We have a special gift for you. Please join us here at the entrance exit door here. And there's a board table in the courtyard. I'm sure all of you have questions about how this organization runs, who's in charge, how we get things done. And thank you to the board members here today. I know you guys do so much work. Appreciate that. You can connect with Unity and Marin via text at 415-991-7111. Text welcome, and you'll get a response from Reverend Deanne. I mean a personal response from Reverend Deanne. How do you like that? Spiritual connection cards are found at the back of the bulletin. Who, y'all got a bulletin when you came in today? Yeah, maybe? Do I hear I got a bulletin? And you know, all right, I got a bulletin, and you love that sound. Tear off the card, fill it out, give us your name, give us a question, give us a concern, send us money. We're welcome to all expressions of love in this community, all expressions of love. And in fact, we have expressions of love surrounding us today. Look at these beautiful flowers from Sharon Clark in honor of her parents on the occasion of her 85th birthday. Thank you, Sharon, and Sharon's parents especially. Also, Gabrielle Javier, I saw you earlier today. Thank you for your contribution and for your beautiful niece, Geneva. Thank you, Geneva. We love Geneva exactly the way she is. Lou and Gail, I saw them show up earlier today. Where are they now? There they are. Hi, Lou. Hi, Gail. Thanks for being here today. 20th anniversary as Unity and Marin members. I feel the love. I hope you do too. Hospitality and flower sponsorships. What's the drill there? Anyone remember how that works? Seashore. Try to say that once from the podium. Seashore Cell. By the seashore. Unity Marin is a place of vision and mission. Our vision and mission are up on the board today. The vision is, and please read this, state this with me, a world spiritually awakened and transformed through realizing our divine potential. And the mission here at Unity and Marin is we are a loving community dedicated to spiritual growth, inclusivity, and service. We honor and care for ourselves, each other, and the natural world, holding these core values: connectivity, inclusivity, and authenticity. Our sacred service spotlight today is for our really delightful, beautiful prayer chaplains. If they're here, the prayer chaplains, get the jump up, prayer chaplains. Let us see you again today. For Paula and Bonnie, Lucille, Gus, Ina, Barbara, Yvette, Gloria, Elizabeth, Claire, Wendy, Kathleen, and Ellie. Thank you, thank you. Also, sacred service spotlight to Carolyn Gauthier, Cindy Hall, and Jeannie Skybrook for sorting through all the music in the storage room. Did you find any of those good old Unity hymns in there when you were digging around? Oh, yeah? You'd be surprised. All right. So thank you for your service, and let's hear from the choir.
Okay, you might notice that we don't actually represent a particular color this time. We look a little different than we have at times in the past, and that's because of our dear Melanie Carter, whom we love so very much. You know, at her service, we wore white because that's what she wanted. That was the word we got, not from her family, but from her friends. And her daughter says, oh, but she loves bright colors. And what did we hear at her service? All about how Melanie loves bright colors. We saw beautiful pictures of her in bright colors. So for Melanie, we are wearing bright colors. So if you're wearing bright colors, you can connect with Melanie. And if you aren't wearing bright colors and you think of bright colors, you can connect with Melanie. And you can connect with us. And we're all here together in brightness, in love, in glory for Melanie and for each other. And now we're going to sing a song that she had requested at her service, but it was getting so long, we had to drop one of the many songs the choir sang, although the choir would have been happy to sing for the whole thing. So we're going to sing that song now, Show Me Your Ways.
Show me your ways, that I may walk with you. Show me your ways. I put my trust in you. The cry of my heart is to love you more. Silently know that I am stronger each day. Show me your ways. Show me your ways, that I may walk with you. Show me your ways. I put my trust in you. The cry of my heart is to love you more, and silently know that I am stronger each day. Show me your ways. Show me your ways, that I may walk with you. Show me your ways. I put my trust in you. The cry of my heart is to love you more, to silently know that I am stronger each day. Show me your way. Show me your way. Show me your way. Show me your way. Show me your ways. I put my trust in you. The cry of my heart is to love you more, to silently know that I am stronger each day. Stronger, stronger. Show me your way. Oh, show me your ways. The cry of my heart is to love you more, to silently know that I am stronger each day. Stronger, stronger each day. Show me, show me, show me. Stronger each
It's now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Ali Mattu. He is a clinical psychologist who has treated anxiety, obsessive-compulsive, and repetitive behavior disorders using cognitive behavioral therapy. In 2020, he shifted his focus to creating media for those who cannot access or afford effective mental health care. Dr. Mattu is considered a forward thinker in psychology. He believes social support from friends, family, and strangers is our greatest strength, and I might add, spiritual communities. He lives in the Bay Area with his wife, daughter, and son. Please welcome Dr. Ali Mattu.
Good. Let me see if I got this right. Good morning, Unity. There we go. Did I do that right? Yeah. It is such a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for having me. This is my favorite thing that I get to do, to connect with people I don't know, share a little bit of what I do know, and understand what your concerns are, and maybe we can do something good together this morning. What I have never experienced before is such a perfect setting of the stage of what to talk about. So Clay, I have to thank you for your affirmation this morning. I could really sit down and we could just hear that affirmation again, because I think it summarizes everything I'm going to be talking about. So thank you for that. What a beautiful way to start this morning. So I am an anxious psychologist. So what does that actually mean? There are two components of that. And the first one is I am a specialist in treating anxiety disorders. I've treated every type of anxiety disorder out there. I have treated people as young as 5 and as old as 75. I have a good sense of what anxiety is and how to help people with it. But anxiety has also been a big part of my life. And this talk today, I'm going to share my ups and downs and also give you a little bit behind the scenes of how you can apply some of this stuff that I do in my professional life to your life. I'm also going to share the most important thing I've learned about anxiety, and it's not what you expect, so stay tuned for that one. But first, let's go back to the 80s and check out this cute kid right over there. That is me. I think that is, I'm not sure if that's kindergarten or first grade. It's sometime around then. And at home, I was an incredibly chatty kid. My parents could not shut me up. My brother and I, we would play all day. I'd have a million questions. I was this super chatty kid. But outside, literally when we went outside anywhere, it's a different story. I would freeze. When I was meeting new people, I would completely freeze. Usually, I'd try to hide behind my dad so that I wouldn't have to look anyone in the eye. And if people asked me questions, I was just quiet. I have this visceral memory of my parents taking me to Sunday school, and I refused to enter those doors. I was outside just crying, so scared of all the people, of who I would meet, of what was going to happen. I would just freeze. What would happen to most people, most kids, is you would enter a situation, you get a little anxious, but with time you'd kind of feel better. But for me, I noticed things were different. Anxiety would spike up high and then kind of stay there for a while. I didn't really like that feeling. And so when I started school, when I started kindergarten, things got a lot worse. And I would just not speak. So my kindergarten teacher thought I couldn't speak English. So she put me in ESL. Schools in the 80s. Different situation. They could have asked my parents. No. Now, you might be wondering, how come your parents didn't realize you're in ESL? Because I didn't tell them. So, communication breakdown all over the place here. Now, I stayed in ESL for about 3 months, and I stayed in ESL until the teachers figured out that I completely understood everything they were saying, because they noticed me noticing them making fun of one of the kids for not being able to still figure out his right hand from his left hand. They were kind of making fun of him, and I looked at him, and I looked at them, and I kind of looked at my hands, and they're like, uh-oh, Ali knows what we're talking about. So they put me back in kindergarten, took me out of ESL, and I sort of stayed there and relied upon other people to speak for me. And this was very hard. I hated it. Going forward to first grade, I got invited to a party. This girl invited me to a party, her birthday party. It's not high school. This is a first grade birthday party. Nothing too exciting. I didn't realize it at the time, but the entire class got invited. I thought I was so special. And so it was a pool party. This is a very accurate reproduction of that scene. And I was excited, looking forward to it all week long. I show up, and it seems like most people are already there by the pool. And so I'm very excited, and I change into my swim trunks, and I come out, and then there I am, and then I'm going to jump into the pool. And I jump into the pool, and then everyone starts laughing. And then I freeze. I feel that sense of anxiety again, and I'm thinking, oh no, what happened? It's not what you think. My swim trunks stayed on. It's nothing that crazy. But what happened is I forgot to take my socks off. I was so excited. I was so looking forward to this, and I just jumped in the pool with my socks on, and the image I have is everyone pointing and laughing. I never let that happen again. Never let that happen. What does that mean? I never went to birthday parties again. I did not show up. I knew, I learned something that day, that yeah, my anxiety spikes up really quickly, but when it's up that high, if I just avoid the situation, I won't get anxious. That makes sense, right? Okay, anxiety makes me feel bad, I just won't get anxious. I'll avoid those situations. Middle school really complicated all of this, as it does for everything. There I am, still looking kind of cute. What I think is so fascinating to me, maybe those of you who grew up in the 90s will relate to this, but I'm wearing a No Fear shirt. Did anyone here have those yeah, a few people, right? That was this huge brand, No Fear. And why am I wearing that? I guess to me it was like no fear. Yeah, I'm going to avoid those situations, so no fear. Makes sense. But I was really into Star Trek at this time. We were actually, we got a lot of Trekkies here. Yeah. I just had a conversation with Tom this morning. I was asking about the architecture here. I had no idea that so many buildings in this area belong to the naval base. And Gene Roddenberry, the creator of Star Trek, wanted to set Star Trek, the Starfleet headquarters in the San Francisco Bay Area because it was this military city that also had these values of inclusivity and diversity. And so I was thinking about that here and how wonderful it is to have this connection being here with all of you, but also this connection to this thing I love, Star Trek. Anyways, I was really into Star Trek, and there was these kids in middle school who once a month would dress up as Captain Kirk, as Spock, as Uhura, and they would come to school and just kind of celebrate Star Trek. And I so wanted to be friends with them, but I was too anxious, too scared to talk to them, so I never did. And one day, I was going to my lockers to get a book, and I noticed those three kids dressed up as Star Trek characters were getting bullied. They were getting picked on. Someone grabbed them and threw them into the lockers and saying horrible things to them. And I froze, and I was so scared. I wanted to say something. I wanted to stand up. I wanted to do something, and I couldn't. I was frozen. I was stuck. I kept thinking about all these horrible things that might happen. And I felt terrible about that. Not only did I never make a connection for these people, but when they were being hurt, I didn't stand up for them. This is my most hated picture of me for my whole life, but it kind of captures how I felt in that moment and how I felt in middle school. I felt alone. Where is everyone in this picture? First off, who took this picture? Where is everyone? Why am I so alone? And I'm so desperately trying to look cool. I've got the hat. I never wore hats, but this day I did, and I wore it backwards trying to look cool. It's not working for me. But this really captures how alone and how terrible I felt about myself. And this is where I started to feel depressed. Like there's something very wrong with me. And I hated myself. I hated feeling that way. I hated that lack of connection. Anxiety for me felt like I was at a rock concert. But for a band I completely hate. Like, I don't want to be there. The music is blasting. I am feeling all those sensations on my chest. Everyone else seems to be having a good time, but I don't want to be hearing this band. I don't want to be hearing this music. I'm waiting for this to be over. I am trying to find a way out. I want to slip out and try to make sure nobody notices me, that I'm leaving here. And I am not the only one who feels this way. In fact, I'm sure some of you are as well. I just want to share this quote, or this part of this scientific article. About 33.7% of the population of the world will at some point in their life experience an anxiety disorder. 33.7%. Problems with anxiety are the most common mental health problem in the world. Many of us struggle this way, as I did myself. So I want you to think about this, and I want you to think about the last 2 weeks. I'm just going to ask you 2 questions. You don't have to raise your hand. You don't have to participate. This is something you can just kind of do in your head. So think about the last 2 weeks, and I want you to think about how often have you been feeling nervous, anxious, or on edge? Over the last 2 weeks, how often have you been feeling this way? 0, not at all. 1, several days. 2, more than half the days. 3, nearly every day. So do you all have a number in your head? How often you've been feeling this way? Okay, great. Now, how often have you not been able to stop or control your worries? How often have you not been able to stop or control your worries? Think about the number right over there. And this is the hardest part of this morning. I'm going to ask you to add those 2 numbers together. Very complicated math. Okay. Now, 0 to 2 is pretty typical. You might be experiencing a little bit of nervousness, a little bit of difficulty with worries. 3 to 6, though, if you're getting in that territory, you might be struggling with anxiety. It might be getting in the way of your life. For me, everything changed when I got to high school. I signed up for public speaking. Why did I do that? You're thinking, what? Wow, courageous kid. No, I thought it was a class where you would study famous public speeches. I show up, first day of class, and Miss Georgiana Hayes says, "Welcome to public speaking, where you will conquer your fear of speaking in public." I froze. I was terrified. I kept thinking, I am going to freak out. People are going to realize how strange and weird this kid is, how he does not belong in the situation, and I was trying to find a way out. I felt like I was at that rock concert again that I did not want to be at, and I wanted to get out those doors. So I went to the office. I tried to figure out how to drop a class, and they said, "Ali, it's very easy. Take this form, have Miss Hayes sign it, tell her why you want to drop the class. She'll sign it, you can drop the class." Well, do you understand the struggle here? The problem is, I would have to talk to Miss Hayes. So I decided to avoid doing that. I was too scared to talk to the teacher to get out of public speaking. I did the thing that a lot of people with anxiety do, is you just sort of think there's some way you're gonna get through this. There's some way, I'll just stick in this situation and then somehow I'll be able to avoid it. I'll be able to get out of it somehow. That's what I kept telling myself. Well, we went through this whole process, and Miss Hayes completely changed my life. Because what she started to do is she started to have us practice talking to each other in very small groups. One-on-one, then a little bit bigger, and a little bit bigger. But the real magic was after we had these brief conversations, she would then have us debrief with each other. So this is what you said. Now, what was actually going on in your head while you were sharing that? And one day, this is me in that class. I think I was giving a talk. We had to do a how-to speech, and I was giving a how-to speech on how to get rid of your bad breath. I don't know why. I had all these. I had Listerine there and a few other. I was demonstrating something. I don't know. But there was a kid who, let me back up here, set up the story. There was a kid, I was a freshman in high school, and this other kid was a senior taking this class. This is one of those rare classes where anyone could take it in high school. He was so cool. He was so cool. He had the cool jackets, the cool haircut, the cool vibe, just seemed so relaxed. Remember those people in high school that seemed like they just kind of floated through, and everything was just came so easily, and they were never stressed about anything? He was that guy, and I got paired up with him in this small group of 3, where we all had to give these 2-minute talks and then debrief with each other. Oh my gosh, I was so intimidated, but also excited just to be near him in this group. He gave this talk, nailed it. I thought he was so captivating, so interesting. And then we debriefed, and he thought he did a stupid job. He thought he was so dumb and so clumsy with his words. And this was unbelievable to me. But it was very clear that he felt this way. And so I thought, if he thinks he's stupid, and he's clearly not, and if he thinks he did a bad job and he clearly didn't, then maybe I'm not that stupid either. It was a moment that changed the trajectory of my life, because it made me realize all these things that I've been thinking and believing about myself, maybe they're not true. Because if everyone thinks they're so stupid in this situation of public speaking, then we all can't possibly be stupid. Maybe our brains are just telling us something. And this is where I learned that anxiety is not actually an emotional problem. It's an attention problem. I 100% believe this in all my work with everyone I've ever seen, and also in my own life, that anxiety is not an emotional problem. It's an attention problem. So what anxiety does when you're very anxious, it turns your attention inward. It turns your attention on what's happening inside your body, and it turns your attention onto all these thoughts. And what are those thoughts when you're anxious? Well, they increase threat, they increase danger, they make you freak out about all those sensations you're having in your body. And the biggest problem with anxiety, when we struggle with it, is it closes you off to new information. It closes you off to the perspective of others. It closes you off to what's actually happening in the real world. And all the new treatments for anxiety, they emphasize shifting your attention back to what matters, shifting your attention so you get actual real world information, to help you get unstuck with your thoughts, to help you to be in the present moment, and to help you gain real world information about the things you actually are scared of. Which is why I thought this affirmation in this morning was so beautiful, opening yourself up, and the real definition of what courage is. It was beautiful. No matter the type of anxiety problem, whether it's a fear of evaluation, like selective mutism, which is what I had, selective mutism, fancy way of saying in certain situations you're mute, you don't talk. When I first heard the term, I thought it was like this X-Men superpower, selective mutism. No, someone just pressed mute on you. Social anxiety or thinking about disasters, whether it's phobias, separation anxiety, difficulty with control like panic or agoraphobia, or if you struggle with uncertainty like generalized anxiety disorder or OCD. And regardless of whatever the anxiety problem is, it's all about attention and where your attention is placed. I want to give you 3 examples of how I've done this in my career. And if you want to learn more, come to the workshop. We're going to dive into how you can apply this stuff to your own life. Getting unstuck with your thoughts. I worked with a person who was a young adult trying to figure out, should I marry this person or not? Should I marry this person or not? Should I marry this person or not? And they were struggling so much with this doubt and not knowing. And so much of our treatment became, how can you make small decisions right now to get you through the next day and tolerate some of this uncertainty so you're not getting stuck in your head? Focusing on the present, what does that mean? I was working with someone who has social anxiety, and one of the best treatments for social anxiety is actually group treatment, where you are in groups with other people, just like Ms. Hayes did for me in public speaking, learning from each other, getting feedback from each other. And I worked with someone who the first day came into my group, and the moment we started talking and it came to her turn to share, she started crying and ran out of the room. This is what I think happens to a lot of people who have anxiety. They have a hard time being in those moments, so they actually can get that information that they need. So much of our work became how to ground yourself, how to be present in the moment. How do we bring that anxiety down just a notch so you're able to actually focus and be here and be present? And getting real-world information. I worked with another individual who was really struggling with obsessive-compulsive disorder. And his brain would tell him when he heard a bump when he was driving that maybe I hit someone. Anytime he heard a sound, he wanted to stop, turn around, and check to make sure he didn't hit someone. This person was in a lot of pain with this OCD. And so what did we do? Well, I got some bowling balls. I got some bats. I got a lot of things that roll around in your trunk. And we loaded his trunk with a lot of stuff. And then we went driving. And you might be thinking, what the heck are you doing, Ollie? Well, we are recreating a lot of these sounds and helping him get real-world information about what actually happens. And what he needed to learn is that I can hear these sounds and write out that uncertainty. Because if the sound happens, I don't need to turn around and come back and check, but I can learn to live with this uncertainty. And that's what I mean about real-world information. I wish I could just tell him that. You can't. This stuff has to be new learning experiences you get from inside. So everything about overcoming fear, let's scratch that out. And what we're really talking about is getting good at fear. Not trying to get rid of it, not trying to eliminate it, but get good at it. I'm going to share one last story with you. Social anxiety, right? Overcame that, Miss Hayes, wonderful stuff. And you might be looking at me now going, well, he's talking on stage. He must be totally fine with this kind of stuff now, right? Well, just a few years ago, the last thing I did before I moved to California, literally on the last day before I flew here in 2019, I was doing a collaboration with HBO. And it was called Doctor Commentaries, where I was reacting to some of the mental health themes in their programming. It was very cool. We were recording it at this facility in Brooklyn, which when I showed up to the dressing room, they said, you know who sat there a few years ago? I said, who? I said, Beyonce. I'm like, I'm sorry, what? And they said, yes, this is where Beyonce filmed Single Ladies. So no pressure. So I'm starting to feel that heat. I'm starting to turn inside and thinking, what am I doing here? What is happening here? Here's the set. And I sat down in that set, and there are probably about 30 people all around me looking at me, hot lights, cameras. It's a very intense situation. And I had never been in this sophisticated of a thing where Beyonce was once. So I start getting anxious. Now, what happens to me when I get really anxious now? Well, I start sweating. That's a problem because the director of usually how do I cope with that? Well, I wear one of these so no one can see my giant pit stains. Well, the director of this said, Ollie, I've seen a lot of your videos, and I've never seen you really without a jacket on, so I want to do something different. Something, great! I know how this is going to, my attention starts to go in, and I start thinking about everything that's going to go wrong. Well, half an hour into the shoot, I am sweating a lot. The director pulls me aside and says, hey, Ollie, I don't know if you've noticed this, but you're sweating. And it's become pretty hard for me to shoot around your pit stains. So we have to come up with a solution here. I am trying so hard to be focused out, but the attention keeps turning back in. Well, so what do? The makeup artist comes and says, I'm going to be able to help you with this. So she takes me out, going back into that dressing room, Beyonce's dressing room. That's the only way I refer to it now. And she says, I want you to take off your shirt, and I'm gonna do something. And I go, okay. So she takes it off, or she doesn't take it off. I take it off. I give it to her. It's a G-rated film shoot here. Like, where is this going? She takes a hairdryer, dries it. She goes to her makeup bag, pulls out a maxi pad, tapes it to the armpits, puts it back on, and says, now you're good. Now, hopefully you can go watch this now and you'll know the behind the scenes of how this made. Why am I sharing this story with you? Anxiety is something I've never been able to escape in my life. As much as I have overcome it, I still experience it. And I still experience it socially. What I've learned, though, is there are so many ways that I can deal with it, cope with it, and be back in that present moment with you all and shift my attention back. Whatever helps you to bring your attention back to that present moment, that is a fantastic way to deal with anxiety. So if you're scared, if you're worried, if you're anxious, I want you to ask yourself this. Am I living by my thoughts and feelings, or am I living by what my eyes and my ears are revealing to me? That is what I want you to remember. Am I living by my thoughts and feelings, all that stuff inside, or am I living by what my eyes and my ears are revealing to me? Simpler way. Is my attention turning in, or is my attention turning out? Okay. If you want to learn how to do more of this yourself, come to the workshop. I would love to see you all. And last but not least, I would love your feedback on this talk. If you take a picture of this, it'll take you to my survey, and as a thank you, you'll get a little handout tomorrow, which has all the details of the stuff I've mentioned. Thank you.
We can leave this up there another minute just so anybody who didn't take out their phone yet has an opportunity to do that. And then we're going to say together the affirmation, because it was such a good one. All right, if you flip to that screen, let's say together. As I open to the full spectrum of my emotions, my capacity for love and compassion expands. And so it is. And now we're going to hear again from the choir.
hard as it seems, standing in dreams. Where is the dreamer now? Wonder if I wanted to try, would I remember how? I don't know the way to go from here, but I know that I can make my choice.
And this is where I stand until God moves me on.
And I will listen to God's voice.
Patience to wait. This is the faith when there is nothing clear, nothing to see. Still we believe. Spirit is very near.
I cannot imagine what will come, but I've already made my choice. And this is where I stand until God moves me on.
And I will listen to God's voice.
Could it be that God is only waiting there for me? If I will learn to love the dreams that God has made for me, can't imagine what the future holds. But I've already made my choice. And this is where I stand until God moves me on.
And I will listen to.
And I will listen to. And I will listen to.
God's voice.
Thank you, Cindy. Thank you, choir. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, Michelle. We got to bring Michelle forward, so I can never see her. She's hiding behind that piano, right? I feel pretty certain that Charles Fillmore would have been a Trekkie, don't you think? Live long and prosper. That's the nature of unity. Thank you, Dr. Ali. Appreciate your time and your beautiful speech, your beautiful talk today. Now is the opportunity for giving and receiving. In a moment, the ushers will come forward with the offering baskets. And at this time, I'd just like to share that this is truly a place where I feel I can live long and prosper. And I love to be able to contribute to this community and to have the opportunity to feel the love that I feel here. So that's why I give to this community. I hope you do too. There are many ways to give to Unity in Marin. We have the Church Center app on your phone. How many people have put that on their phone? Everyone raise their hand. The QR code, I believe there'll be a QR code up on the screen, maybe not today. For the live streamers, Yes, thank you. And then the giving envelope in the bulletin, and also just mailing a check to Unity and Marin at 600 Palm Drive, Novato, California, 94949. And is our God awesome? Yes. Yes. The choir is going to remind us of that. Would the ushers please come forward?
Every now and then the choir will give me something that is a reminder of something that we do. And I don't know if you can see this sock, but it says awesome. Yes, so when I go home, my feet will be awesome.
awesome, everyone. Our choir's awesome. Our choir's awesome. If you get a chance, I'd like you to check out Charcel's shoes at the seashore. There's something else. How many of you have renewed your membership at this point? How many of you have thought you renewed your membership at this point? You know, I got an email a couple of weeks back that said, renew your membership. Oh, I've done that. But I thought I clicked the button. It turns out I hadn't. So if you think you have, please check again. If you haven't, get in there and do that. The workshop this afternoon will start at noontime here in the sanctuary. No one's turned away for lack of funds. And we will create healthy relationships with anxiety. Thank you. And there's a lot going on here at Unity in Marin. Are you ready? Okay. 6-week winter book study program starts next week. The book is in the bookstore, not Amazon. Well, it's in Amazon too, but it's in the bookstore, right? In fact, Amazon.com sent me a message earlier today and said, please do not send Unity and Marin people to Amazon.com. Please have them go to the bookstore and get their books. They can't handle the volume. All right. So, and get that book and be part of the book study program. Thank you. The Power of Release, a Unity Ash Wednesday service. This is coming up in just a couple of weeks. Meditative service with a ritual for release and communal blessing. That's on February 14th. What's also February 14th? Order your flowers early. Wednesday concert series with Antonio Aversano, Medicine for the Heart, Native American flute, tambura, and other peaceful instruments. That'll also take place on February 14th here in the sanctuary at 7 p.m. Does anyone know Antonio's music at all? You should listen. It's fantastic. You should show up. Quantum Living Process with Reverend Deanne. That'll be February 24th through March 19th. How many people have done the Quantum Living Process? Oh, look at that. I love it. Please come back and do it again. If not, bring friends and let's have a good time together. You can read all about that in the bulletin as well. Opportunity to grow community leadership, save the date, March the 1st and the 2nd. That'll take place at Unity of Vacaville. I don't know anything about that. Please look that up. No parking in the fire zone. I've done that. I love parking in the fire zone. I'm not allowed to park there anymore. Neither are you. Please do not park in the fire zone, specifically the one behind the building here, because you know why. Unity and Marin prayer chaplains, please rise. Bum, bum, bum. Prayer chaplains in the room here to pray with us. We love our prayer chaplains. As you know, prayer is at the heart of Unity and Marin's whole world. So take time to accelerate mind and align with spirit with the prayer chaplain. And we have children somewhere. Look at them. They don't look like children anymore. They're growing up. They're getting big. Are any of you kids anxious being up here right now? Come to the workshop at noontime. It'll be fantastic.
So speaking of awesome, we have awesome teens and almost teens here. And you want to introduce?
Hello, my name is Lonnie.
Lonnie.
I'm Fonzie.
Fonzie.
Jaden.
These 3 teens and almost teens are starting the YLU group next week along with one other person. So we won't be seeing so much of them anymore at the blessing, but they're going to be in the room having fun and doing magical things. So we're going to give them a blessing right now, and all the children who are at home, around us in the world, we're going to raise our hands and say, you are the perfect expression of divine light. We love you exactly the way you are. And we wish them well in the new YOU group. Tell your
Welcome,
friends,
YOU. It's been a while since we had YOU here. Yeah, nice to have it back. So there's a little announcement about that. February 4th, Sunday at 10 a.m. in the Candida Wright Meditation Room with the YOU. Thank you. That's going to be led by Pete and Cindy in the community. Let's do the prayer for protection for ourselves and all beings everywhere. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is. All is well. Let's sing the community song. Thank you.
One of us is starting. Me. I feel a new day. I feel a new day. Down in my soul. Down in my soul. I feel a new day. I feel a new day. Down in my soul. Down in my soul. I feel a new day. I feel a new day. Down in my soul. Down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. I have the strength. I have the strength. Down in my soul. Down in my soul. I have the strength. I have the strength. Down in my soul. Down in my soul. I have the strength. I have the strength. Down in my soul. Down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. I have the wisdom. I have the wisdom. Down in my soul. Down in my soul. I have the wisdom. I have the wisdom. Down in my soul. Down in my soul. I have the wisdom. I have the wisdom. Down in my soul. Down in my soul. And the whole